This is how Megan and I just spent 24 hours in Lake Garda. And let me just say, this day ended with me dance battling a group of Bavarian women in an olive grove. Yeah, it was a pretty good day, but let's just start at the beginning. We got into Lake Garda last night after spending 5 days in the Dolomites, my new favorite region of Italy, by the way. Check out my last video if you missed it, but the last 2 times we've come to Italy, we've explored Lake Como, but this time we wanted to see just how its neighbor, Lake Garda, compares. So let's start the day. We woke up in our stay at Hotel Belvedere on the hill above Limone Sul Garda, a picturesque lemon-centric village on the northern end of Lake Garda. We enjoyed our complimentary breakfast and off we went into town because we had a ferry to catch.
It's this one, Caravel, yeah, the white one.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Whew, we got here just in time. Skipped that line, which is pretty sweet.
Pro tip. Get the thing at the hotel.
Today we were headed across the lake to Malcesine, a colorful village rich with history, and also they just have an absolute beauty of a castle on the hill. Anyway, ferries, like Lake Como, are a preferred method of transportation to get to other lake villages. I mean, you can drive around this lake like you can with Como, and while I personally love driving on tiny little Italian roads in my Fiat Panda, you'll definitely encounter traffic. I mean, this is a tourist destination, so you're gonna wish you took a ferry. And honestly, ferries are more fun and kind of a must-do when you visit. As we made our way across the lake, the iconic Scaliger Castle of Malcesine came into view. It's the focal point of the entire town. It's the main attraction, it's easily the #1 thing to do here, and it just is captivating. Malcesine in the morning was relatively quiet, and based on what our hotel concierge informed us, that's to be expected. Every main town in Garda that has a ferry stop is relatively quiet in the morning, until the ferries start delivering tourists, like us, by the boatload. I mean, this just makes sense, but when the ferries stop running around 6 or 7, the towns clear out, which is really nice. Anyway, we essentially meandered our way to the castle through town, and there were a few things to see along the way, but nothing in particular really jumped out to me. I mean, maybe this guy watering his flowers out of his balcony was just picturesque.
Megan loves seeing old people water their flowers on the balcony. I agree, it's pretty cool.
Watching people do their actual life.
Yeah.
Anyway, you have lots of shops and restaurants that line the alleyways, and just the colors, the shapes, the sounds, the smells. It's all uniquely European and just makes you feel warm inside. We eventually got to the Scaliger Castle, and I'll be honest, I had no idea what to expect, but we ended up spending probably an hour and a half here, reading all about its historical importance, the castle's role in the history of the lake, the history of Lake Garda itself, as well as northern Italy as a whole. But all in all, definitely worth the entrance fee of €6. After we got done with the castle, it was getting pretty hot, so I stopped for my first gelato of the day. Also, I read about a secret/not-so-secret cove just below the castle that I wanted to check out.
I think I'm gonna try to swim down there.
I'll jump at any opportunity to swim, so I did.
Pretty sick little spot. Just got done with the castle gelato. Was just swimming out there, and then I saw they had a slack line, and I tried to slack line, but I haven't ever done one that is that long and that loose, so it was a little tough, but still super fun to get in the water. It's actually not cold at all.
If you were gonna come here, I recommend checking out this little cove, and if you're up for it, you might as well give it a try. Yeah, check out this cove. Also, check out my YouTube channel. I'm from Oregon. I love traveling and making videos, and I'd love it if you would subscribe and, I guess, be a part of my YouTube journey. Anyway, let's keep going. Enough babbling by me. Megan started to get hungry, and I often forget to eat, but she's always there to remind me. So yeah, from the castle, we looked north, and kind of the north side of the castle looked really nice, and so we decided to check it out. And there was this nice little boardwalk, and it was just a lot calmer over there. So we ended up having a light meal at this restaurant. We people watched and just soaked in this gorgeous castle view. By now, though, we decided that we had seen enough of Malcesine, and we started to make our way back to the ferry, where it got busy. And to be honest, it was so overwhelming, I needed another gelato to help me calm down. At least that was my excuse.
Thank you very much. Grazie mille. Our ferry leaves in 20 minutes, so when you got extra time, get more gelato.
We eventually made it back onto the ferry and headed back to Limone Sul Garda.
Just woke up from my ferry nap. If you can do it, take a nap. It's the best one there is. I just left Megan behind, and I'm doing this like pretty cool bike roadway Cyclopista.
So we were told about this by our hotel concierge. So it's this cool 5-kilometer each way walk and bike path completed in 2018 that is kind of built naturally onto the side of this cliff. And this connects the heart of Limone with the edge of Trentino. And this is how it played out.
This is a pretty cool way to get out of town and just have a different vantage point and kind of have the place all to yourself. I mean, look at this.
I wanted to do the whole thing to see what it was all about and to say I did it. It was a brutal walk/run, and on the way back I got so hot I had to stop and go for another dip before making my way to the church.
Something I really like about walking through town in Limone Sul Garda is that it's so lemon focused, like lemon everything, that every now and then you walk by a shop that is just like super aromatic, just super lemony. Pretty much like every 3 shops are lemon focused, and so get a lot of lemon, which is really cool. We made it.
I mean, the church was cool, just an absolutely amazing location, and I got there right in time to hear the church bell.
Got here just in time for the 6 o'clock bell, and I saw a lot of people that actually said like, oh, the outside's fantastic, which of course it is, the view is unbelievable, but they're like, the inside's not that impressive. I actually thought the inside was pretty cool. I'm not gonna show it though because I didn't film in there, so if you wanna see it yourself, you gotta come to Limone Sul Garda.
I eventually did make it to the fishing museum as well, and it was a cool little free walk-through museum, but the best part was the water fountain out front that had some of the best water I've ever had. Now keep in mind, I'm not a trained water sommelier or anything like that. I like water just as much as the next person, but this was good water. Okay, I'm boring myself talking about water, so it's time to move on. I headed back to the hotel where Megan was just finishing up her nap. I enjoyed some cherries by the pool and hung out until it was time for dinner. We were celebrating Megan's birthday this week, and so last night we actually had one of the coolest dinners on the beach on the north end of town at Villa Romantica, which I recommend because this is one of the few places you actually can have dinner right on the beach. Just have this gorgeous lake view dinner setup. It was pretty sweet. But tonight, we kind of did the opposite. We went inland and up into the hills above town where we ate at Osteria del Livio, which serves amazing local food and wine in this olive grove above Limone. Just absolutely unreal, but definitely make reservations and come check this out because this place was awesome. We had New Zealand style rack of lambs, grilled veggies, pasta, a bottle of wine, and 2 desserts for €100. Meanwhile, there was a table of ladies. We got to chatting. Turned out they were a dance group from Germany.
Just got in a dance battle with some women from Bavaria. We're gonna dance battle. They say 2 minutes. They are drinking shots and ready to get their music going to dance down there. Maybe alcohol played a part. We don't know. So are you the leader? You are the leader.
I show how to dance.
Okay, we're about to see some dancing, many different languages, and this is their leader. And we are playing Greek crying music.
I'm Rita.
Rita?
Rita, yes.
Rita. This is Rita.
Then it was my turn. I could see on their faces they weren't exactly sure what to think. They weren't sure if I was good or terrible. We just had 2 completely different styles of dance, but it was a highlight of our trip, just laughing and dancing as we shut the restaurant down.
Whew, there you go. And that is a wrap for Lake Garda.
We'll see you in the next one.